Yo, welcome everyone. When we zoom out on the weekly time frame, Bitcoin might be forming a huge pattern. Be slightly more careful in the coming days and let me show you why. Now, first you're going to see that Bitcoin yesterday definitely hit a very important level. When we usually talk about key levels for Bitcoin, we definitely always mention the liquidity levels because what you're going to see right here, Bitcoin hit almost exactly our recent high. We took the liquidity above the high and since then we are right now getting some kind of a rejection back down of approximately 3%. But of course, the reality is we are right now trading in the middle of the weekend. So it pretty much means for the next few days, for the next few hours, we are probably going to be trading in some kind of a horizontal range. So what we can right now do, let's go with a parallel channel. We are going to be expanding the bottom of the channel at approximately 89,400 US dollars and pushing this one towards the upside. So you're actually going to notice if we do get a push down towards the bottom of the range, we need to trade the range until it actually breaks because this specific area right here is really not a random price target. And if it's going to be hit, for sure, we can be looking to add something to our long trade on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and also Solana. But of course, also my trading bots, the Bitcoin and Ethereum trading bot, are going to be buying the dip, selling higher if we are then going to be able to get some kind of a bounce back towards the upside. And yes, later in the video, I'm even going to share with you the exact price targets I'm right now paying attention to. But why is the bottom of the range right here such an important level? What we can right now do, we go with our Fibonacci retracement from the swing low back towards the swing high. Golden Fibonacci ratio not coming in exactly at the bottom of the range right here. However, it is going to be very, very close. And also remember, deviations from our ranges are something completely normal. So I would definitely say if we do get a push down hitting the golden Fibonacci ratio, this right here is going to be the first very important support area. And also remember from yesterday, what was the volume level I was showing to you? Let's go right now with the fixed range volume profile to measure the entire bounce towards the upside. And you're right now going to see value area high, the volume level coming in almost exactly at our golden pocket. But also we can right now be connecting our higher lows with a diagonal area of support where we are right now going to see diagonal support level. Probably it is not going to come in exactly at the golden pocket right here, but nevertheless it is still going to be another very important level. Maybe we get some kind of a deviation from the level, but nevertheless also then ideally we are looking for another push towards the upside on Bitcoin for us to take even more liquidity exactly above the recent highs with a very clear, very simple invalidation level where we can then say, okay, Bitcoin probably it is not going to continue higher, we are going to go lower if our value area low right here is going to be broken back towards some side. So what you can right now see, I'm not right now predicting that Bitcoin must get a push towards the upside, but the thing is, overall speaking, ideally, I am still looking for high right here for us to take the liquidity above our much higher highs right here. But the thing is, if we break the value area low, I know, okay, I was wrong, and probably we are going to be looking for a bigger rotation back towards the downside, towards our value area low. But at the moment, value area high is still the area of support that we should definitely pay attention to. And right now also, we can go with another very important indicator, which is going to be the Adler stochastic CG oscillator on the 4-hourly time frame. What you're right now going to see, the indicator is reaching the oversold area, but not only that, we are right now forming a double bottom pattern, which is also a bullish Bitcoin indication. So of course, last time we got some kind of a double bottom, actually here we got a triple bottom pattern, we got some kind of a bounce back towards the upside. And generally speaking, a double bottom pattern is a bullish indication, a double top pattern is a bearish Bitcoin indication. So definitely, if we are right now getting a double bottom pattern on the 4-hourly on Bitcoin, and if it's also then going to align with our very nice support area, of course, what we can say, a very high probability, we are going to be looking for some kind of a bounce towards the upside on the Bitcoin price itself. And this is right now why I would really appreciate for you to smash up the like button because 1000 likes are really possible. And also thank you for subscribing to the channel. Now, let me also share with you something very, very nice on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index and how we can combine this specific data area with a huge head and shoulders pattern that we might be forming on the weekly time frame. So what you're right now going to see, the crypto fear and greed index clearly right now, it is resetting at least a little bit. We are not in the extreme fear anymore, we are only in the fear at the 20 area. But the reality right now is, look right now at the last time we were trading approximately so low on the crypto fear and greed index. It was back in March 2025. We got a push down here, we got the extreme fear right here, we got a bounce towards the upside, then another rejection, once again reaching the extreme fear area, and only then we got a bigger bounce back towards the upside on the Bitcoin price itself. And right now what we are seeing right here, yes, crypto fear and greed index was in the extreme fear area. Right now we are also getting a very small bounce on the Bitcoin price, but of course also if the history is going to repeat at least a little bit, we might be expecting another push down, lower low Bitcoin, crypto fear and greed index going in the extreme fear area once again, and only then we might be expecting a bigger bounce back towards the upside on the Bitcoin price itself. So how could that potentially feed into the current price action we are right now seeing on the weekly time frame? What we are right now actually going to do. So if we right now know, okay, in the past we got a very small bounce, then we got a rejection back down, and only then we got a bigger bounce back towards the upside. In my opinion, potentially, if we are going to then hit our major area of resistance in the coming days on Bitcoin right here, I'm definitely going to look to fire a brand new short or a sell position at approximately 94, 95, and also 96,000 US dollar area. This specific price target right here, in my opinion, is currently one of the most important levels we should be aware of. So if we right now know, okay, we might be expecting a bounce towards the upside, and once Bitcoin is then going to hit this specific area, we could be interested to fire a brand new short or a sell position. And then of course, because in the past we got another push down for the crypto fear and greed index to go back into the extreme fear area, we might be then expecting another push towards the upside, taking the liquidity again below this specific low, below 80,000 US dollars, maybe even also below this specific low at approximately 74,000 US dollar area. And only after we do get another major push towards the upside, only after we are going to be in the extreme fear area for the second time in a row, we might be then expecting a bigger bounce back towards the upside on the Bitcoin price itself. So this right here could potentially mean we might be forming some kind of a head and shoulders pattern on the weekly time frame. What exactly do I have in mind? Let's go right now with the head and shoulders pattern tool right here. I'm going to zoom out on the 3-day time frame, and what you're right now going to see, Bitcoin actually formed right here potentially the left shoulder, we got a push down, the all-time high might be the head, and of course if we do get right now another push down for the crypto fear and greed index to go in the extreme fear area once again, we are then of course going to say, okay, we might have started forming the right shoulder on Bitcoin, and only then we might be expecting another push towards the upside. So looking right now at this specific pattern, it is still very, very early. I don't really want to say to you that it must be formed right here. However, I'm going to know for sure, if we are going to get another push down on Bitcoin, we hit our major area of support once again, the crypto fear and greed index goes in the extreme fear area once again, historically speaking, it definitely is going to be a very nice buy. And even if we are then going to form another lower high right here and not actually the all-time high, I would still like to then say, okay, we are then going to be looking for a brand new long or a buy position on Bitcoin, taking the profits along the way on the bigger bounce back towards the upside. And of course also the trading bots, if we are going to right to get another push down, are going to be buying even more. I set them up so the Bitcoin bot right here is going to be buying all the way down to 65,000 US dollar area, and the Ethereum bot is going to be buying all the way down towards 2,000 US dollar area. So of course, if you want to copy my trading bots, very simply, you can click this specific link down below in the description, where of course, if you deposit $100, you're going to get 200 US dollar free bonus. But of course also, the more you're going to deposit, for example, you deposit 1,000, you get 600 USDT in a free bonus. You deposit 10,000, you get 3,000 in the free bonus, but also then make sure you're deploying the bot with this specific link down below in the description, because you're you're going to copy the exact same settings I'm right now using for the Bitcoin and Ethereum bot. Both of the bots right now have been performing very nicely, very steady up curve right here on the PNL graph, and also the exact same thing is right now happening on Ethereum. If we do get it pushed down, yes, potentially we are going to be in a very slight loss for a brief moment, but nevertheless they are going to be buying the dip, which of course it is going to be the most important thing. So of course, if you want to copy them, first register on Pionex and then deploy them with this specific link down below in the description. Now let me also share with you another very important price target I'm right now paying attention to before Bitcoin might get this push towards the downside, towards our price targets right here, before we are then going to start forming the right shoulder of the bigger head and shoulders pattern. Very simply, let's zoom in on the 4-hourly time frame, because you probably know the exact level I'm right now paying attention to. So first of all, you're going to see on the way down right here, we have been forming a lot of lower highs. That simply means a lot of liquidity exactly at the area of approximately 94, 95, 96,000 US dollars. So what we can right now say, we first have another liquidity level at 94,000 US dollar area, another liquidity level right here, 95 or actually 96,000 US dollars, and then also another liquidity level at approximately 97,500 US dollars. Remember, I have already talked about all of our liquidity levels in the previous videos, and you probably also right now know that all of the liquidity levels right here are also aligning very nicely with the anchored VWAP when we anchor it exactly at this specific high. So this anchored VWAP is, of course, as you can see right here, curving towards the downside and is probably very nicely going to align with our liquidity levels, and of course also with the biggest volume cluster when we are measuring the entire upper price action. So the point of control coming in exactly at our liquidity levels, but also right now, cherry on top is going to be the golden Fibonacci ratio when we right now go from the swing high back towards the swing low. So you're clearly going to notice this specific area of 95, 96, 97,000 US dollar approximately, it is going to be a major price target for the Bitcoin price itself. So this is right now why, of course, ideally, I'm right now looking for another push towards the upside on Bitcoin for us to take as much liquidity as possible. Then, of course, potentially a rejection back down, we hit our major support area, and only then the bigger right shoulder on Bitcoin is going to start forming. This right here currently is my main plan on Bitcoin. This is right now why I am telling to you, if we do get a push towards the upside, I want to be looking for some kind of a short or a sell position, not only on Bitcoin, of course, also on Ethereum. But of course, if we are then going to be pushing lower, I'm going to be buying even more Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and of course also the bots are actually going to be buying the dip, which is the best part. Additionally, let me right now also share with you something very interesting happening on the CVD indicator, because yes, currently we are getting a slight bullish absorption. Lower low on the CVD, very slight higher low on Bitcoin. So what we are seeing right here is going to be bullish absorption. And this right here, of course, it is also going to be, technically speaking, some kind of a bullish Bitcoin indication. But again, I am personally prepared to buy only at the best areas of support. So yes, if we right now already getting pushed towards the upside, hitting our major area of resistance, personally, I am not adding to my long trades. I want Bitcoin to commit to me before I commit to the market. So that is simply going to be why, if we do get a push down, actually hit our support level I just shared with you, the golden Fibonacci ratio at, let's just say, approximately 89,000 US dollars, only right here, I'm going to be interested to fire another long trade on Bitcoin with a stop loss slightly below the support area, just in case our value area high right here of the entire bounce is going to be broken back towards downside. But overall speaking, ideally, I still want some bigger liquidity levels right here to be hit, and only then we are going to see if Bitcoin might get some kind of a rejection back towards downside for us to then finally get an opportunity to be buying even more Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and for the bots to actually be buying the dip. So if you want to copy my bots right here, make sure you click this specific link down below in the description, you register, you deposit, you're going to get some beautiful bonuses right here, but also then deploy the bots using this specific link, because you're going to copy the exact same settings I'm right now using for the Bitcoin and also the Ethereum bot. But also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.